very good morning, folks. I hope everyone's doing well. I said I pop on this morning before I head out and get the day done and dusted. What a result yesterday, by the way. We have a big week ahead. Big week ahead in regards to the Champions League group stage opener against Feyenoord in Rotterdam, against the Dutch champions, They're coming off a win yesterday of 6-1. So we're coming off a win of 3-0 against Dundee at home. Obviously, the first half of the game was very boring, very frustrating to watch. We had our chances. How's it going, TM? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're keeping well. Tell us where you're tuning in from. If this is your first time watching my podcast or the live stream, do press that subscribe button below as well. Please let me know what the sound is like as well. This is the first time I'm using the microphone on my normal phone. I have two phones. I have a YouTube phone and then a normal phone. So yeah, let's kick it off. I hope everyone's in good moods going into this game on Tuesday night. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff. So obviously you're going to be on TNT. Obviously, Nat Phillips picked up the injury yesterday, but he should be okay for Tuesday. As a precaution, Rogers took him off. Lager Bielka done well in the second half, coming on as a substitute. Now let's talk about the start of the game. So obviously, Daisy Maeda scored, but it was disallowed. The VAR. Maeda had a couple of chances. Yang, I thought, played well on the right hand flank. I know usually he's more effective on the left, but he done well on the right hand flank. Kyogo, I thought in the first half he looked very lackluster, but he got in the game. And as soon as I seen that shoulder injury, I was like, oh no, don't tell me he's reeled out. But we got in there. Second half, obviously a different team came out and we scored with that penalty. The referee wasn't going to give the penalty. In his eyes, it didn't look like it was going to be a penalty until they reviewed on VAR. Hi, comrade. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Said I pop on. I was meant to pop on last night. I was just tired. I was on the night before, so said I pop on and have a chat with you. So it's more of I'm going to be doing this more on a regular basis as well with YouTube. So I need to keep the views up and keep obviously talking to you as well. You may not like my opinion, but it is what it is. Tell us where you are joining, where you are watching from this morning. You're probably lying in bed having a coffee or a cup of tea, or out and about, or just chilling in the man cave with me on the big screen. Go me. But sounds good, mate. Thanks very much. I'm also doing a deal as well. If anyone becomes a member, at the end of the year, I will send you 3 to 4 Commander Hoops new crests, stickers are going to be getting done up. So there is a membership fee there. As far as I know, like $2.99. And then, as I said, at the end of the year, I'll be sending stickers out around Christmas time to thank all me members and me subscribers as well. So look, it's not a money business with me. It's just about communication and chatting with you. It's about the most important thing, which is Glasgow Celtic. So get the questions in. Let's talk about yesterday. Let's talk about obviously Tuesday. Let's talk about next week again to Livy as well. It's a lot to talk about. We talked about the debutants as well of Bernardo, Nat Phillips, Louis Palmer. 3 massive points further ahead for our closest rival against Motherwell. Look, and Motherwell have actually played pretty well since the start of the season. Obviously, they got the 3 points yesterday up in Perth. I used to say Perth. It's weird because I say Keats because I'm from Dublin, but obviously living in Scotland, I have to say Keith. So you know what I mean when I say Keith on the videos. Rory, what's the crack? Looking well, mate. Not too bad. I'm not for a 6-hour sleep. I'm not doing too bad. I have a christening coming up today, so I gotta look fresh. Might have a pint or two of Guinness. See how I feel. Might be lucky. But I want to see the comments. Who would be your starting lineup for Tuesday against the Dutch champions? Look at Jimenez. He's some player. Like they won 6-1 yesterday. The second in the Eredivisie. They're doing pretty well. Like if a Celtic fan's gonna go out there and say, "Oh, we're gonna win 3 or 4-0," you'd be on the old glue because this is gonna be a tough game. I would take a draw right now, to be honest with you. I think our away record in the Champions League is not great. The only away, we won away with Brendan Rodgers against Anderlecht when he was the gaffer the last time. But overall, we only had 1 point in 6 games under Rodgers in the 2 campaigns at home, which is shocking. I know we were playing against the likes of Barcelona Man City, but that was a good point against Man City, the 3-3 game. So yeah, God bless the christening. Yeah, I'm gonna go to that today. So my best mate's having it in a GAA hall and all, so that's fantastic. Keeping the Irish tradition going. Ireland to win the Rugby World Cup. I didn't watch the game against Tonga last night. I heard it was a good result. I heard he played pretty well. I watched the game against Romania, but look at they're obviously up there. They're first ranked in the world for a reason, beating the likes of All Blacks in the autumn international stuff. But we're gonna talk about Celtic. We're gonna talk about Celtic. I feel like it's like sports trivia or something. Um I would looking at the flanks for Tuesday night. I know Abada is obviously out for 4 months. That new song is good about Abada. That's been trending all over Twitter. Fair play to the boys. Um, Interesting times. I'd probably go with Moyeda. I think Moyeda has to make a point in the Champions League. To be honest, which is like all the series he's missed in the last campaign. He's a workhorse. We're going with the back foot. People were asking me the other night on the channel, would we go 3-5-2 against Feyenoord? Not at this moment in time because we don't have the likes of Carter Vickers there. Once we get Carter Vickers back, we have Nat Phillips. I don't know how long Nat Phillips will stay at the club. It will be just January, or will it be extended past January window? We shall see. If we had a full squad, I would be less nervous. I think we're always going to be nervous going to the Champions League, full squad or not, to be honest with you, TM, because you're playing against an opposition. Yet the Eredivisie is not rated in some fans' eyes as a good league, but we've got some gems from that league. And Feyenoord and Celtic obviously played each other back in the early 70s in the European Cup final as well, which they beat us in the San Siro. Willie Gemmell scored for us that day. A famous Win Janssen played for Feyenoord that night as well. So obviously we all remember Win Janssen for helping us win the league back in 1998, stopping the Oko doing 10 in a row. So we've also bought the likes of Henrik Larsson from Feyenoord for less than $500,000. What a steal, eh? One of the best steals in football. Imagine what, like, Larsson, like the clubs he's played for, the Barcelonas, the Feyenoords, obviously the mighty Glasgow Celtic. I wonder if Larsson would actually be at the game. He probably could be doing punditry for it. I'd say be on a Dutch station or something like that. Be interesting. Obviously, I'd say the likes of Pierre Van Hooydonk will be at the game as well. He helped them win the UEFA Cup back in 2002. So it'd be a good crowd. Be a good crowd. It's a nice stadium. There talks of they're actually going to be expanding. They're looking to get a new stadium as well, a 50,000 seater stadium. So what do you think of Yang? I think there's a player there, but I don't think he's close to first team yet. Well, the only way he's going to be close to the first team, to be honest with you, is giving him the minutes, giving him being around the squads, throwing him out in games. Like with the injuries at the moment, like obviously Abada's going to be out. Mikey Johnson's in the Champions League squad. I don't think Mikey Johnson is Celtic caliber. I don't think he's first team caliber. I know he went on loan to Portugal and he had a couple of games there and a couple of goals and stuff, but he's not at the level. I know getting the call for Ireland is going to help his confidence as well. Yang, I think he'll come good. I really do think he'll come good. I just think he needs probably about, a string of games. It's like Abada. Abada was put in the mix straight away because we had injuries under Ange for season. And you just develop. He's going to be working on a good manager. But what annoyed me yesterday was it was nil all at half time, and then you had the anti Rodgers fans coming out like, oh, boring football, this, boring football, that, this is disgraceful, this is that. I'm like, football is all about breaking teams and you'll get your goal. You can't just go out there and smash teams 2 or 3 nil going into half time. It doesn't always work like that, folks. And I think it just annoys me about fans. Like I understand they're still getting used to this migration of going from Ange ball to Brendan ball. And a lot of people see Brendan as very, defensive football. And I can understand that, but at the same time, you gotta have a bit of patience. Bit of patience because it goes through my skull. I can understand that it's nil all and you want goals and you want to feel more relaxed, but the goals did come. They did come and they came after quick succession. It was, could have been 4-5 yesterday. Alistair Johnson had a couple of chances as well, but It just annoys me so much, like on social media. And it feels like it's the older folk that get agitated too quick. Have a bit of patience. We won yesterday. We have Livy the weekend away in the Tony Macaroni Stadium. It's going to be a tough game. It really is going to be a tough game. And Tuesday's the most important focus. Like, if the back line can keep the relationship well. I thought Scales played pretty well yesterday. Looked very composed, you know. I agree, mate. It annoys me that the Roses came out of Ange as arses every week, and then plenty of them frustrating games under Ange. Yeah, we did have very frustrating games under Ange. Like, you know, football, that's the joys of football. I think people jump too quick on the bandwagon and be like expecting us to win 4-5-0. Like, there was games, obviously, we went out and won 9-0 with Ange and 6-0 and stuff, but Ange is gone. I will be doing a video on Ange, folks, about how well he's doing with Spurs and his nomination and his stepping stone to get the Premier League job, because I want to talk about stuff like this. I know it might not interest you as me talking about Ange, obviously, with the treble, winning the treble, rebuilding. And look, he's been recognised for the work he's done. He's up there now getting nominated for the UEFA manager. And that's fantastic to see, especially for an Aussie coach as well, going into the Premier League and get manager of the month in his fourth season. Look, I'm not a sports fan anyway, but, you know, Ange bring good moments for Celtic. And I will do a segment talking about it, but I will leave it in the past after that video. But we need to move on from this whole expecting, you know, we never stop. Different managers have different layouts, different formations, different inputs of games, you know, and different strategies. And I think because it's the name Glasgow Celtic, I think we expect the same from last season. It's not the same. You may have the same squad, but minus Jota, minus Starfelt, it's not going to be the same. And people need to understand we're bringing new players in. We're trying to migrate the players into that system as well with a new manager. Yes, Brendan was at the club previously, but it's a whole new crop of players besides Callum McGregor, James Forrest, and Scott Bain. So have a bit of patience. I understand it's at home and people are kind of like, oh, well, we should be beating this team. Dundee are sixth in the table for a reason. They beat Hearts at home. They got a couple of draws and they were unfortunate to lose to St. Mirren and Paisley. So we'll see what happens. If we had a serious upgrade in Brendan, and just forgotten, it's the barroom has failed the supporters and the manager by not spending accurate money on transfers. Celtic are not ambitious about transfers because they always think of the wage structure behind it. Because I think when you look at you're looking at Sky Sports News, you're looking at players going for like 80 million that had one good season or a season and a half at Brighton and stuff. And you're like, why can we not like get a gem out there? Because we don't have to, in Scottish football, the money's not there. And it's what we can make of, it's what we go out and pick in these markets like the Eredivisie, the Swedish League, the Danish League, the Scandinavian leagues, and the likes of the K League and the J League. Is what picking these gems out and using them, getting them for what, £500,000 or £2 million and trying to sell them off. They should have backed Brendan in the transfer window. We spent 22 million. It didn't feel like we spent 22 million. In my head, it feels like we've only spent 10 million. And that's the sad reality of, like, we were at to make money off Champions League qualification, automatic qualification. We have pot money there. We have revenue coming through, which revenue was the club said to the stock exchange that there would be more money coming through. And that was about 5 or 6 weeks ago. So where's this money going? Like, where's it going? Yes, we are going to be investing in a new state-of-art training facility for Barrowfield, a brand new 2 new pitches outside, a new FIFA-style indoor pitch, a new sports science centre, a new gym. I can understand that, and that's long-term. That's a project there, and that's what Brendan always talks about, working with the youth, develop them, giving them the debuts, bringing through these homegrown players, like Scottish players and stuff as well. So I really believe, hopefully Brendan doesn't get screwed around by the end of the season. Well, this time next year, I hope we're talking about, oh, that was a very productive transfer. I just think with the likes of, I'll go back to Ange. I think Ange was well ahead of the game regards these transfers. You know, before the windows were open, we were bringing J League players in and, you know, setting them in. Like, even with Alistair Johnson, we got him in, obviously from Montreal, and I like to see us go with that approach, keep that approach going. Like, the recruitment hasn't changed since Ange left. So with Ange's ideas and his philosophy, that should have been brought on to the likes of Michael Nicholson, Mark Lawwell. It's weird. It's a weird one. 30 people watching, folks. Do comment below. Tell us where you're watching from. As I said, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. There is a membership option there as well, folks, of £3 at the end of the year. I'll be sending stickers out to my members as well. Appreciate a couple of people that bought the membership the other night. As I said, it's all the money goes in towards getting me new equipment and stuff. So we'll see what the crack is. Beggars can't be choosers. We've increased Callum McGregor's wages, but when Brendan came in, of course he deserves. He's the captain. He's after doing well for the last 2 years. He must be on close. I'm definitely around about 50 grand a week. Scott Brown was on 40 grand when he was at Celtic. That type of money gets us better players. He should have signed. Well, we've cleared a bit of the deadwood out. Sorrow's gone. Barkas is gone. He's gone. So Luke Shaw, he's gone down to Wigan. I don't know if that was a permanent deal. A few loanees gone down to Fleetwood, which even with Scott Brown departing, hopefully they'll get first team football like Simon Gonery and Lahal. Hopefully they can make a stamp in League One. So James McCarthy, I don't know what the crack is with him. He's still on the books, even though he's injured. Even though Rodgers came out and said that, do you want the best deal for him? What a waste of a player! Like, he's just injury prone. It was never gonna work out for him. I wasn't even excited about when he came in. I was like, maybe to do a job for us. But okay, I was more excited about Joe Hart when Joe Hart came in anyway. Got him for little to nothing. So yeah, Callum's on a better wage. So would be Kyogo. So would be Moyeda as well, signing the new contracts, and obviously Abada as well. So hopefully Rio can sit down with the club, negotiations go well, and we keep him for another at least a year extra on his contract. I mean, a new approved contract with a better wage, because his contract is 2026. So I'm not stressing. I think if the right money comes in for a Tate, if it's a 25 million, let him go. I know people might turn around and say you're over exaggerating, but if Tate is that type of player, he'd be worth 25 million. I really believe him when he came on yesterday. I know he's been injured. The last time he played was against Aberdeen. Just a bit of magic of him, just a bit of flair about him. Like, he's 3 times the player than David Turnbull. Okay, Turnbull's quite slow, but yes, he did score yesterday. Yes, he won us a penalty, and he's a good free kick taker and stuff like that. But I'd rather have Ollie in home. I just think there's, a player there that could really come on to his stride and be well. But I just don't know about David Turnbull. I'm on the fence with him. I really am on the fence with him, to be honest, which is, I know, like, he obviously had his injuries, and even his 4 seasons that proper season where the fans weren't in the stadium, he's got a good few goals from outside the box. People might say, well, look his stats when he plays, he does score and he provides assists, but it's just he's slow. It's slow paced football with him. He's not the great fastest, but yeah, Tom Rodgers wasn't the fastest, but he was good with his feet. Let's have a look. Do you think we can finish third in the Champions League group? Yeah. It all depends on the 2 ties against Feyenoord. I'm going to write off the Atletico Madrid ties, to be honest with you. So I don't think we'll get a result against them home or away. It's the style of football we're playing against. Very in-your-face football, love fouls, love sending offs. They love breaking down. They'll try hit you with an awful goal, like in regards to a counter-attack. And it's just, I hate playing against Atletico Madrid. Even when we played against them back in 2011-12, it was the same style of football. They haven't changed under Simeone, and there'll be no. But with regards to the group, if we can beat Lazio home, away, which I'm quite confident we can actually get a result against them away. I just think that whole spirit of 2019. I know it's a complete new squad, but obviously Taylor, Bain, Forrest scoring that night, McGregor in there as well. We could nick something over in Rome. So if we can get a possible maybe 8 points in the group, we could get the Europa League. But it just depends, because the Champions League, it's always going to be tough. You're playing against the best. You're playing against teams that probably have 10 times the wage bill. Transfer fees that Celtic would never ever imagine even paying on a player, with the finances. But are you confident that we'll finish third red? That's the question to you. Like, at the end of the day, how do you feel going into the Champions League? How does everyone feel going into the Champions League? Because I'll be honest with you, it's like when soon as the season finished, I was like, I don't think we have the squad to actually do something in this Champions League. Yeah, I'm saying that we could nick a result in Rome and beat the likes of Lazio home and away, and maybe a result at home to Feyenoord. I still don't feel we don't have enough in the tank to even be a knockout stage Champions League team. I think we're a bit away from it. But if we can get a result there and push to the best, we need Celtic Park to be a fortress again. Hasn't been a fortress in a good while. Like, and we want to beat this guru as well of getting knocked out. Actually winning a knockout stage as well, knockout toy if it's Europa. But getting through the group, not a chance. Just be honest, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer because it's lashing out, raining outside. I'm just looking at being honest. I'm using my head and using my heart. I just don't believe that we have a good enough squad to compete to the level that we would love to all see. We're not that Gordon Strachan days. It's not them Neil Lennon days. It's just football. The landscape of football has changed, and it doesn't help when your finances is stretched to a level and you're going against teams that their salary of some players are 86 times the amount of one of their players. Not many clubs are in a position to turn 2 million into 50 million. 100%. Look at we do that a lot. We've sold some decent players like the likes of Wanyamas, Fosters, Van Dijks. Tierney. Look at Tierney was a project player, a youth project player, and we sold him for 25 million. So Celtic, that's their model, and people need to understand that. Some fans can't get aboard of the whole model of we get attached to these players for, you bring them in for 2 million, they have a phenomenal season or two, and then you go. And Jota, there's a prime example. Jota's circumstance is a bit weird. Like, if I was him, I would have left anyway for the money. You got to think of a long term. If it's going to change your life, long term. Yeah, we wasn't expecting to be obviously the treatment he's getting at the moment that he had, the way that he's meant to be left out of squads and stuff. I think it's a lot of daily record baloney, to be honest with you. I don't buy into the whole Jota thing. I think the whole Jota thing is just like, take the money, move on, thanks for the memories, and that's it. How's it going in Elgin? How the north of Scotland? Never been up there. Maybe one day, Stewie. Point. On my fate is in Brendan, because for me the board have left the manager high and dry yet again. You could see he was calling for signings. Like, we should be, like, when he was calling for signs after that Kilmarnock game, we should have been straight in there getting players in. Took 8. Like, when he started doing business the last 2 days of the window, yes, we brought the likes of Talilo in, Holm in, Larga Bielke, Naroski, but no, just I wasn't happy with the business in the transfer window. It just had to accept that shut now and is what we have. And I'm hoping these players won't be duds. I hope these players will progress under Rodgers and they make a stamp as well. So I agree with you. Completely agree with you. I think the boards messed them over in the transfer window. Like, this is a guy, like, he's managed the club before. He knows what he's going into with regard to Desmond and Lawwell and the recruitment strategy. Keep praising the recruitment, but why are we leaving this so late? Because we were assessing the squad and looking at injuries and stuff. Like, we all knew when Starfelt left, you were going to need to get someone else in. Look at Larga Bielke. Hopefully he'll be better than Starfelt. We've seen clips of him before he came and he looks like a promising aspect. And hopefully he will be better than Starfelt, but we'll see. Like, it's not a case of losing Starfelt as an individual player. It's what pisses me off, what upsets me is we had a solid centre back there that had a good relationship with Carter Vickers, and we never lost in the league with them two together. I understand the situation with Starfelt. He went because he wanted to be close to these misses, and you always say family's more important than a job, and I completely agree with that, 100%. and he done the right decision leaving, as much as some fans can be bitter about it. But love is love. When love comes around like that, it's very hard to not pursue and chase it. So I understand him leaving. He's going to be working on a good manager, Rafa, as well. Rafa's a good lad. Can Celtic re-sign Jota? No. Why would we? Even though he's class, I think that's a more of a, it's like the teens expecting high hopes of this. Like Jota, no, take the money, gone, see you later. Part of the past. Helped us win a treble, helped us win a league title and a league cup. Some phenomenal moments, some great moments. Him doing that, but look, he's in the past now. I don't think there's, at this moment in time, is there a player that can be box office like Jota? Would Yang ever step up to that? We should say that. We don't know. Could happen in the future. See what happens there. Keep the comments going. There's only a handful of you folks. Keep these comments going. 22 people in, so right, so my starting lineup for Tuesday will be Joe Hart in goal, Alistair Johnston, we go with Taylor, Scales, Nat Phillips, we go with Rio Atate, Callum McGregor, Matt O'Reilly. I just don't think David Humble against Feyenoord. No, I'm sorry, but I just look. Yeah, he has scored goals this season. You can't take it away from him. Games he started, even with the pre-season, he's done pretty well. But right wing, Moyeda, left wing, Yang, and then up front, Kyogo. When is CCV back? Hopefully, they're saying the start of October, maybe mid-October. He's on the grass at the moment, but he's not doing any heavy training. So that's a bit good news. I don't know what the story is with Naroski. Obviously, he was left out of the Champions League squad, so don't know how long the time frame is him. They were obviously, when the announcement was meant to be like up to 2.5 to 3 months being out. Same with Welch as well. So once we get all these players, like, players are going to be coming and go. Players will be injured and players will come back in from injury. And I don't think we're going to have a full strength squad for this campaign, to be honest, which is like, and that's just the joys of football. There's so many games to be played, regards to domestic football, European football, and yeah, we all want Carter Vickers back as soon as possible. He's an absolute rock. He's probably been our best centre back since Virgil van Dijk. Maybe I'll put him ahead of Van Dijk because I think he was more consistent. Van Dijk. I know Van Dijk was obviously worked on Lenny and Doyle. It was a different style of football and stuff like that, different era of football, you could say. Football's changed a bit since 10 years ago. It's not the old 4-4-2. Most teams have changed that style of football. But I would say Carter Vickers would be up there, maybe more successful as Van Dijk. Obviously, he has more trophies than Van Dijk. I think he's played more games than Van Dijk now at this rate. Definitely think so as well. I'll have to check the stats on that, but I think because he's been here a little bit longer than Virgil. But obviously, we knew when we played in Malmo, that Champions League qualifier playoff round, we knew Van Dijk was going to go. And look at Van Dijk's time at Celtic was remarkable. His goals, he scored the free kicks against Hibs, against Inverness, against Dundee. That goal where he brings the ball up against St. Johnston, skins 5 players and puts it in. That was on Stevens Day / Boxing Day of was it 2014? Could be wrong. 2014, I think it was 2014. But yeah, good times under Virgil. I know Virgil liked Nat Phillips' post yesterday as well, but I think Nat Phillips is going to be a unit for Celtic. I really believe it. Obviously his first game yesterday came off as a precaution, but I think he will be a unit. I think he's that type of player where you have confidence and bring the ball up, like we had with Christopher Royer, maybe make it a run, and so he has it in him. So interesting times. Scales looked quite confident yesterday, getting up to the final third as well. So same with Alistair Johnson. If we can get more of that out of Greg Taylor in domestic football, that would be good. And I think Greg Taylor, like, you look at the way he's progressed as a player over the last 2.5 years, it's been remarkable. I've said it many times this channel. I was a I was one of them people that doubted Craig Taylor's ability as a Celtic left back. I thought it was a cheap purchase from the club. I know at that time we bought Bolingoli. We brought him in when Tierney departed, but he's improved massively, and it's down to obviously him buying into Angebot at the time, obviously working with better players as well that came in the door, and he deserves the recognition. But I just hope that he can keep up that same sort of form under Brendan. Even more of a bringing more to his game, hopefully, because I think Taylor, there is a player there, but sometimes I feel like he's very fragile. Gets pushed off the ball too easy for a left back, which maybe just down to his height as well. I'd love to see him progress as a player more. I've seen people saying 6 or 7 months ago, where people are saying I'd rather have Taylor in the Scotland squad than Tierney. I was just like, yeah, Tierney's been injury prone and stuff, but Tierney overall has the class. Taylor doesn't have the class. Taylor's a workhorse. Yeah, you put the jersey on and he'll fight for you, but Tierney has all that attributes. And okay, Tierney's doing well at Real Sociedad, and I wish him the very best there. And I'm a bit frustrated that we didn't get him back, but look, we have Taylor there, and we have Berda Bay, and hopefully Berda Bay can progress as a player. But it's he's off the pitch stuff. He's like getting into trouble with the police and stuff like that, being late for training. Like, do you want someone wants to stay away from the media, put his head down? Look at the likes of James Forrest and Callum McGregor. Don't have social media. You never hear anything bad about them. So maybe just a rocky start for Alexandro, but hopefully he'll get it right. So let's keep going with the comments. 27 years watching this morning. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you're having a cup of tea or a coffee, let me know your starting lineup for the game against Feyenoord on Tuesday night, 8 o'clock kickoff as well. It's on TNT if you're just wondering. So we're going to be playing against the Dutch champions over in Rotterdam. So it'll be interesting times. They're not going to be a pushover. They're going to be at home. Their confidence is going to be up after winning 6-1 the other day as well in the Dutch league yesterday. So it smells like a draw. It feels like a draw, but you never know. You never know. We might get them on the counter attack. It might be a Matt O'Reilly goal in there. A bit of Magic Matt. I'm gonna call him Magic Matt going forward. How cringy is that? Magic Matt. Oh God. Bernie be gone in January. He's out of the Champions League squad. Well, it's just I think his temperament, to be honest with you. Like, as I said, he's had a couple of occasions where he's been out of line, and he does look like a good attacking player. I said this the other night as well, Red. He looks good going forward, with regards to defending. Shocking, absolutely shocking. That's something he needs to improve on, especially in the Scottish game. Murray, what's the crack? How are you? Hail, 3 points, keep clean sheet. Exactly. I didn't really touch on the clean sheet. This clean sheet is crucial. Obviously, the goal difference. Hopefully, no injuries. Bring on the Dutchman on Tuesday. Look, obviously Celtic and Feyenoord have a connection there. As I said, both fans have a connection. Obviously, the King of Kings came from Feyenoord. Williamson obviously played against us in the European Cup final. Managed Celtic, Pierre Van Hooijdonk. Can't really think of anyone else. Like, they're the only 3 that really stick out to me, to be honest with you. Please bring in and educate me more about Celtic and Feyenoord former players that for both clubs if you can. Yeah, it'd be interesting if we can go out there and just play our football and not think of it's the Champions League. Don't let the occasion get you. At the end of the day, it's a pitch. Yeah, we're playing away from home. It's a pitch. Just go out there and play the football we can play to the level. And I think if we can go out with that kind of game plan that we had at Ibrox, where let the team come at us. Yeah, Feyenoord are a stronger team than Rangers. Have that mentality of where we can take a chances when the chances come. They may have a little bit more possession than us, but if we get our style going and get Maeda and Magic Matt playing and Rio on the ball, I think it's any chance we could do this. Any chance we could pull a result there. But deep down inside, I think it's going to be a draw. I'm going to go fancy 1-0, 1-all. Say 1-0, 1-all. 1-0 would be good, but 1-all. How's it going, Mikey? Good morning to you. I know you're probably like, oh, why did you not say it going on? But I'm on now. I'm staying on for a few more minutes just to talk about the game coming up in the game yesterday. If anyone wants to talk about the game yesterday, obviously I was saying that Alistair Johnson was remarkable playing right back. I'm stuttering and all. I swear if I'm like doing the X Factor here. But yeah, good game yesterday. Obviously, poor first half. Wouldn't even label it as poor. It was just a frustrating first half. And then you know what? Sometimes you just have to wait. And we were rewarded with three. We want to talk about Conor McGregor's assist yesterday for Kyogo's header. What a ball! What an absolute peach of a ball. Now, if that was in the English Premier League, they'd be boasting about it for weeks. They would be. But what a ball! If that was Bruno Fernandes, you wouldn't hear the end of it. But that was an absolute cracker of an assist yesterday from the gaffer, well, the gaffer in the middle of the pitch, the boss in the middle of the pitch, Callum. But phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And you know, I was one of them, as I said in the channel. I doubted Callum McGregor's ability to be a captain, you know, and he's proved me wrong, and he's been remarkable. I just love the way he speaks about the club and love the way he conducts himself, especially in that fourth season around when he picked up that injury. He was still attending the games, he was still in the dressing room, he was still doing all the training sessions. That's just what you call a proper leader in the making. And obviously bouncing off Bruni in the years of playing with Bruni, like he inherited that captaincy well. So no better man for the captain's armband, eh? Big Cal. Oh, Monty, it's been a long time since I've seen you on here. And when it comes to the Champions League, we never seem to be prepared properly. Like, be honest with you, Monty, it could be a case where, yes, Feyenoord don't have that squad level as PSG, but we don't want to be going over there and getting a PSG hammering, you know. We do have strengths, we have weaknesses. We've been here before with Rodgers, and Rodgers has to learn. Like, Rodgers obviously got the likes of Leicester to Europa League Conference semi-final and stuff like that. He has European experience there. He's obviously had experience with Liverpool as well in the Champions League, which it didn't work out for him. So if we go over there with just a mindset, be like, don't give the opposition too much respect. Get stuck in, get in there, play the football the way we should be playing, use the flanks, and the most important thing, Monty, is we need to have a plan B. So if they do score against us early, the heads can't go down. We need to get stuck in and push for an equaliser, you know. Show the football it's made of, you know. Especially the midfield's the most important part of the team. Going into this game, you look at Champions League, if you can't dominate the midfield, we're going to fall. We're not going to produce forward. We're going to fall at the back as well. So hopefully, Tate, Pierre Van Hooijdonk, yeah, Pierre Van Hooijdonk, the man himself, the three amigos, the Canio, Guidetti, and Van Hooijdonk, them days. That was well before I started supporting Celtic, folks. Wasn't into football as a kid. Mad, isn't it? It's crazy to think. So we'll use are all enjoying 95 and 96 on that Tommy Bournes, unfortunate not to win the league, down the goal difference and stuff like that. I wasn't into football. Sad, isn't it? Breaks me heart even saying it to you, but it's God honest truth. I've developed and learned a lot since. What a Bumblebee jersey. Dropping your facts and your knowledge. As I said, not bad for a guy that does a solo podcast, not bad for a guy that does a couple of videos weekly. I don't have that resources like other podcasts where you have 3 or 4 people, but I am working on getting people on in the background in the next couple of months. We're going to start getting people on. If I can get a weekly guest on, I won't be a Celtic footballer or former footballer, weekly guest on and talking about the game and hearing different voices on the channel. It would be good. It'd be good. We had guys on the past, a good friend of mine, but he's doing his own thing. Michael that we used to have on, Mick, he's a busy man with his job and stuff. So having the likes of them people come back, it's quite slim. I'm gonna look to get fresh faces on and, you know, obviously bring up the channel a little bit, but it takes a bit of time, you know. It takes a bit of work has to go in the background, but I'm gonna try to get people on, folks. I said I'm not promising you everything. I can't promise you some stars, but I'm working on it. I'm just being honest. Correct, mate. The midfield needs to get Mad Paddy on. Mad Paddy. Oh, Paddy, of course. He hasn't been doing podcasts in a good few months, to be honest with you. I'd love to see Paddy come back on. He had some laugh at him. But like, he hasn't been doing podcasts in the jungle gyms. I know they're still doing it, but I haven't seen Paddy in a while. Maybe he's just up to busy and doing stuff, but I'd like to see him come back. Nice guy. Met him a couple of times. He's a nice guy. You know, he helped me move into me flat and helped me get the sofa up to collect the sofa from a place and lift it up the stairs. He's a big guy, and I'm like literally a bone. So, we'd like to see Celtic go full counter attack at this game. Maeda and Yang have to pace trouble. They do have to pace. It's keeping the mentality and like, don't let the event get to you. Don't let the Champions League music hit you. Don't let it. Yeah, it's the biggest competition in world football, club world football. So I wouldn't go 3-5-2. I disagree, to be honest with you. The reason why I wouldn't go 3-5-2 is because I don't think we have, like, with Carter Vickers being out, I don't think we have that solid defence there. And that's just my opinion. You might say 3-5-2 would be more effective for us, but Jimenez, he's going to be some player against us. You know, could Nafidov's holding it? Jimenez, he's played Champions League football for Liverpool in the past, so he might be able to do it. Made a show as a lot, Dan. Excuse me. Is Kyogo, am I missing something? I heard he popped his shoulder. No, he's fine. He's fine. Obviously, it looked like a bit of an injury when he came off the pitch and he went in and got treatment. He should be fine for Tuesday. Could be wrong, but he should be fine. I'm not worried about Kyogo. He should be fine. Can play Yang. Of course, we can play Yang. Why can we not play Yang? If he's gonna have to get the experience and progress as a player, you have to put him into these games. Simple as that. It'd be a make or break. And if it's a case he breaks, he just gets better domestically. Of course, you can play Yang. He has the pace. You know, if he's gonna develop as a player, you have to play him in the big games. That's the only answer to it. There's no point in saying, "Oh, I can't play him. Play someone else. Play Jamesy," or Jamesy has a bit of Champions League experience, but Yang has pace. Yang can take players on. You know, you can see what he can do. I'd be starting Yang all day. He does have an end product. He just needs to get the right service. He needs to get the right players in there so he can give the end product. I'd be starting him. I want to see in the comments, would you start Yang or not? I'd definitely go with Yang Maeda. Definitely. Obviously Mark Toledo's still out, you know. Exactly. We need to see him play, and the only way you're going to give a judgment on Yang, a proper assessment on Yang, is he needs to play football. There's no point. Yes, he's coming from the K League, and people are like, "Oh, can he cut it?" Of course, he can cut it. I can see it as a player, you know. Like, if he gets his head in, gets the right service, gets the starts, you know, gets stuck in, and he maybe just needs a goal or two, and he'd be flying. You know, I would go with him. Definitely go with him. I agree with Keep Boy. Not strong enough yet with injuries. New signings, 4-4-2 for me. 4-4-2. Oh, I don't know. Like, the days of going 4-4-2 Murray, they're gone. Regardless, you know, like I know 4-4-2 in football over the decades was the strongest position. It was the most effective position. That was the format, the formation that, you know, you were taught as a kid. We're playing 4-4-2 today, you know. But I'd go 4-5-1, to be honest with you. If I had my way, you know, I'd put an extra face in the midfield, to be honest. You know, put an extra face in there, just someone dropping off the striker. You know, putting Matt behind the striker, having Callum in there with Rio and maybe home. People might say Turnbull or Bernardo. You know, Bernardo looked pretty decent coming on, nice passes out, but can't cut it in the SPL. He's played 3 games or something so far. You know, as far as I know, I think I read an article from Celtic here. They're saying that they are planning to restock the 120 kit. I have it there, but I'm a bit disappointed they didn't bring it out on long sleeve, to be honest with you. EMC, I'm a bit disappointed they didn't bring it out on long sleeve. You know, especially that type of jersey. Oh, imagine that a long sleeve. I don't know what the font is. Has anyone actually got the font on the jersey yet? Because the print on it, People are asking me, are we going to wear in the Champions League? I hope we do. I hope we get to wear it soon. I was disappointed yesterday we didn't wear it, but is it another marketing stunt from Celtic? Hopefully not. Hopefully that the guys, because look, I'm quite disappointed we never got to wear this top. I wanted us to wear this top against Hibs on that Paddy's weekend, but I'm very disappointed. I wish even they bring this top out again, even if they remove the Adidas writing under it and just had it like that, but making that a little bit bigger and we wear it. You know, quite sad, but it is. It's a nice top. It is a nice top, and it's unfortunate for fans that haven't got the chance to buy it, because I know they were doing it in stores and stuff as well, releasing in stores. But Celtic should really sit down with Adidas and say, look, this is going to be our best seller. This will be up there with the Bumblebee sales. We need to have more production of this top, because what a jersey it is. It is an absolute belter. Really is one of the best home tops I've ever seen. It'll be up there with the 2012-13, the one we wore against Barcelona, with the design around it for the 125 years. 100 quid is the only place you can get it. Well, that's the discussion you have between your heart and your head. Is it a case that you go for your heart of getting the top for 100 quid because you love the top, or is it a case that you're going to break the bank and leaving yourself short for a football jersey, for a piece of clothing? Is a case that, do I actually need this? Do I need this top? Is it worth breaking the bank? That's the conversation you have to ask with yourself. Personally, I broke the bank. I paid the 70 odd quid for it, and then the missus bought me that zip up, which is an absolute cracker. But I broke the bank as well for the black away jersey. So and the training top as well. Now the training top was actually sent to me as a deal, but yeah, not from Celtic. Best weapon available at Celtic is other teams. No, I think, like, it's not even teams being off the grid or being off the pedal or whatever you want to say. It's just us in general, just showing what we can do. We've seen it, and I know it's a different manager and one or two players less than what we had in the Europa League with Ange at that time. We could break teams on the counter big time. You have the pace there, have the pace there to do it. Monty, 100 is a disgrace to ask to support the folk out. Walford would be furious at fleecing. It's not just the club. I know the club dictate the prices, and it's the manufacturer as well that would they be expecting. That's what they would be expecting. Like, I can understand people like, this club was built on helping others, and it's a cost of living crisis, and people are expecting the jerseys to maybe put down. Adidas, Nike, Puma, they don't care. They do not care, because they know that clubs like Celtic, Manchester United, Real Madrid, they know that they can make a marketing off it. They know that they'll hit you with emails. They know if they do a pre-sale, you will panic and you will buy. I panicked and bought this. I did. I'm not going to lie. I sat in the queue, like some of the fans are probably watching, and bought this top. I'm like, oh my God, I have to buy this because I'm not going to get this ever again. And then there was sale on it in JD and other places. Like, I felt like a fool, but I'm glad I bought it now. And it's just back to EMCD's question: is it worth spending the money on the top? It's up to yourself. No one's putting a gun to your head and say, buy this top. It's 100 quid or 70 quid. Do what you do. At the end of the day, it's not what you wear to feel as a support. It's what you feel inside. It's what you feel supporting Celtic. It's the thought of you sitting down, hoops on or hoops off, or a polo top on. It's what you feel inside about the club is the most important. It's what you show to other people, how you feel about Celtic. It's not about the colours you wear. Yeah, wearing the colours, you're pumping money into the club and you feel like you're a little bit, better than some other people. It's not about being better. It's about feeling that inside as a unit, as a team, as a set of fans, feeling as one. Simple as that. I know it sounds a bit cringy, but that's what it is to me. I've missed out on loads of jerseys. I'm not gonna sit here and cry. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna spend 70 quid on this jersey that was from 2015. No. If I'm not gonna spend, I'm not gonna spend. As simple as that. We're talking about Brother Walford and the traditions. The most important thing in this day in life is Does it hurt me I don't go to the games because I don't have the money to get tickets? Of course it hurts me. But I put my kids first instead of a football club. And if anyone that knows me, I only go to about 3 or 4 games a season, folks. I'm not here to make a point to you as that I'm a bigger Celtic fan than someone else. I am. We're all on the same level. We're all on the same level, folks. Regardless of your season ticket holder, regardless if you pump 1,000 or 2 grand into the club a season, doesn't make you a bigger supporter than me because you're going to the games. Some people just don't have the money to go to the games. Some people just don't have the money to even buy a packet of crisps when they're at the games because they're struggling to pay that bus to go to the games, or they're at the paying for 2 or 3 kits for their kids. People, I think I find it very, especially with our fans and like certain groups, they just attack with our fans like, oh mate, like you bought that from this and that, because people don't have the money. Them days of buying a top for 2 years is gone. It's gone, folks, and that's the way marketing's gone in football. It's a business. Clubs don't appreciate the fans the way they used to. And that's the sad reality of it. It's a business. You're just a number to bring numbers in. Regardless of you going to every single game and every fan knows who you are, it's just a business. Just take a step back. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer, but that's the way it is, you know? And that's the model of the NFL, that's the model of the NBA, and that's the way we're going now in football, you know? And I know I sound weird, and I think down the line, Celtic may be looking at going maybe down the line getting English football and playing in England because they know as a business model they can go to another level. Yes, they might financially hit lows of going down to English football, and we have to start in League One and start in Championship. But yeah, we bring the fans in. We still sell the stadiums. Yeah, we'll have fans everywhere if we were to play English football. Like that's a conversation for another day. But I will be doing a video on it. Like a lot of Celtic fans are happy to stay in Scottish football and win the league, but there's gonna come a case where that level between Scottish you playing in UEFA competitions at the highest, it's not going to do as well. We all want to be in the Champions League, but we don't want to be in the Champions League and get embarrassed by a 7-1 or a 3-0 at home defeat. You're like, yeah, look, Real Madrid is a different level. It's a different level. You're playing against one of the best teams in the world, and yet we were good for 60 minutes, but we didn't get results. We didn't get results. It's a results business, folks. And I know a lot of people take confidence from playing Real Madrid for 60 minutes off the park, but we didn't score. We were unfortunate not to score. And there's going to be a day where we won't be able to compete in the Champions League because we're going to go down to that road where we're going to have to play 6 games to get back into the Champions League. And yes, there's another competition in Europe. There's a Conference League there. And some fans would be stubborn, like, I don't want to play in the Conference League. That's none. It's a European trophy. It's more honours to the history. Like, if you're in the Europa League now and we got thumped out back into the Conference League like we done against Bodo Glimt, I'd gladly take a Conference League trophy under me. At the moment we're in the top competition in European football, and it's making a statement where we can actually get an away win, actually win a game in the group and actually challenge teams. That's the most important thing. And if we can go out there and beat Feyenoord against the odds, beat Atletico against the odds, because we're playing against teams that are like literally miles ahead with regards to player quality. But if our players can step up and realise, you know what, we have fans there. This 60,000 seat stadium should be a fortress, should be a 12-man, because I hate Celtic fans bringing up this whole malarkey of, oh, Celtic Park in the Champions League night is the best night. Yes, it's phenomenal when you hear the Celtic fans screaming all the Champions League music, but that does not get us wins the way it used to get us wins. That spark of, yes, we have the Green Brigade in the background, we have the boys singing as well, and they're lifting the fans, but it's what's done on the pitch. It's what's done on the pitch. These players need to take this in and take it in and realise, right, oh my God, we need to raise our game here. We need to play better than we've ever played in the league. This is a game we need to win to show that we can actually make a statement. And Rodgers should be the man for it. I know I might be a bit harsh what I'm saying, but I'm being God honest from my heart. We overrate the Champions League, overrate the experience. Like, I don't want to feel like I may be getting a ticket for the game in Lazio, game at home. I don't want to feel like I'm just going for the occasions, the Champions League. I'm going because I want to see my team win. That's what I'm going for. I'm not going because of if we're playing Champions League music, oh, we should pay an extra few quid. I want to see us win. Like if we were playing St. Mirren or we were playing Livingston, I want the same mentality. We should be going out there and winning. That's what it should be. It really cringes me when fans say, oh, it's a Champions League, or, you know, they need to jump on it because we're playing the Champions League. You should be supporting your team no matter what. At the same level in your head. Same level in your head. If we were playing Tuesday away, Livy, I'd be still in the same mentality. We need to go out and win this game. Some rant there. I only have the home top. I'm a single parent. Exactly. You know, I have 2 kids myself. I know exactly how it is. And my kids are not in big into football, and you know, there a day will come when I bring them to Celtic Park. But at the moment, I just can't afford it. And I'll be honest, I'm not embarrassed to say it. I said, Keith, family comes first. Must be a live stream in their own. I mean, exactly, like it's no name and shame. We all if you know the traditions and where the club is made and what produced, you should never criticize another fan of what jersey they can't afford, or what of them not being at a game. At the end of the day, I think it's quite cheap for someone to come onto social media or come onto streams and criticize someone for they don't know what's going on with that person's head in the background. They don't know if they're about to lose a job, they've lost a loved one, they're struggling with the electricity bill, they're struggling to even put bread and milk on the table. Like people don't really people. I think it's quite cheap for people to like. I be honest, folks. I got absolute abuse off 2 or 3 individuals start from Dublin for years because my dad tried to make me a Liverpool fan, and I grew up supporting Liverpool as a kid. But I realised when my uncle brought me out to Celtic Park at the age of 16 what a club is, what a stadium is, what a tradition is, and I became a full-time Celtic fan from the age of 16. I don't hide away from what I believe in. Everyone that I know around me in Dublin support Man United or Liverpool. I had to bring my friends out to Celtic Park to show them what they're missing out on. A real club. Yet the standard of football is not the same as the Premier League, but it's a real club. It's a real club because we all look out for each other. We're 10 times as passionate than most Liverpool fans or Man United fans because their club has gone to a commercial model. A commercial model. Yous are watching. Yous have been in the jungle. Yous have been going to the games maybe since the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, went through the bad times in the 90s. Yous have been there. But you got these fans that are English football fans that expect A, B, C, and D. Celtic Football Club is not a club about taking a picture, buying a hospitality seat, and feeling like you're a tourist fan. It's about being a part of an institution. It's about being a part of being in it together, wearing that hoose with pride, even wearing that scarf for pride. That's what it's about. That's what it's all about. And that's why I bought into it. I always remember Neil Lennon saying to me, the day the stadium tour, the day this Champions League game, son, you don't know what you're missing out on. And that was his last season being a captain. And I took it back. I took it for granted. And that Champions League night, my God, I'll always remember it. So for the rest of my life, one of the best days of my life. Going to Celtic Park, hearing that Champions League music, like I just said a few minutes ago. And that's when we were a team. That's when we could play against anyone. That's when we could give the likes of who AC Milan were the champions, went on to win the Champions League that season. We get them a game, home and away, even in the San Siro. So I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about the club over the last 17 years of supporting them full time. Do I get stick? Do I get stick about not growing up as a Celtic fan? Not it's in me DNA and all that malarkey. First of all, Glasgow's not on my doorstep. May live in Glasgow. As I said, you live in a society where Liverpool and Man United jerseys are around you 24/7 in a primary school and you're playing football and you wear a Celtic jersey and you're getting laughed at, even though like at the time Henrik Larsson was like running football. He was the best striker in Europe at that time. You know, we got to the UEFA Cup final, you know. That's the difference. That is the difference, folks. So yes, it's crazy. And it feels more special because when you go out to the likes of Padder Browns in Dublin, you're in there with all your fans, that everyone knows each other. It feels more special than going to the local pub and sitting there and watching Liverpool and Man United game. That's the difference, folks. That's that feeling. Evander Snow. I met Evander Snow that day. He was going upstairs. Nice guy. Obviously, Evander took a heart attack and stuff. He was a really nice guy. Dutch midfielder. Kind of looked like Melchior a bit. He used to play with Chelsea. Stood in the jungle in the mid-80s throughout the dark days of the 90s. Well, obviously, when Ferguson McCann came in and saved the club. Saved the club. You know, the days of obviously we had Lou McCarty and Liam Brady and stuff in the helm, you know. But look at Fergus came in, and that guy needs that training facility should be Barrowfield should be named the Fergus McCann facility, because I think Fergus McCann revamped the club, brought a new, we've done the stadium, brought some fantastic players in, gave Tommy the job, and obviously it was a bit sad the way him and Tommy didn't work out at the end, but Tommy brought us a Scottish Cup in that win, Van Hooydonk header, you know, for my time, but still. Can watch, overrated, 100%. I completely agree with you. It is overrated. The league is overrated in general. You know, the only thing that's keeping that league going, as an outside perspective, would be watching the likes of the pundits like Roy Keane and all that. You know, definitely. Surely in Ireland, Celtic is the number 1, 2, or 3. It's not, unfortunately. It's not, because people in certain parts of Ireland, except the north of Ireland, put Celtic as number 1. Some parts of Dublin, some parts of Cork, and different. It feels like it just feels like, you know, they're like third or fourth team. That's the experience, and that's the God honest truth, folks. Like, you look at even the kids that are going up now these days, it's all Man City jerseys and PSG jerseys. It's not a Celtic jersey, and sadly that's the way it's gone. And you know, that's the marketing way, that's the model. And unfortunately, people don't realise that Celtic Football Club was set up by an Irish priest to feed the poor of the East End of Glasgow and provide dinner, you know, provide a bowl of soup there to help people, you know, Irish immigrants and stuff. You know, it's just, people don't understand that story. People don't understand that a European Cup was won by a team of boys from Glasgow, except from South Coast, that went on to win a European Cup in a 30-mile radius, went on to win 6 trophies that year. People don't realise that story, don't realise how historic it is. They only turn around, English fans turn around and say, oh, get over it, he's won the European Cup back donkeys years ago. How long did it take Man City to win a European Cup? Oil money. That's the reality, you know? So there is always going to be that level of certain English fans that have that bitterness towards Celtic Football Club, because yes, we may have a better stadium, yes, we have a bigger fan base than most clubs in England, besides Manchester United and Liverpool, because they've sold their marketing stunt around the world, because they've won so much European trophies and Premier Leagues and FA Cups and stuff. But let's be honest, we're up there with the top 5 clubs in the world with regards to support. You get people coming from Vegas and all to watch Celtic and all, crazy stuff. Someone from the Cayman Islands was on me playing when I was going to the cup final, a cup semi-final. He was like to me, I'm at the coming from the Cayman Islands to go and watch the game. I'm like, oh my God, man, that's commitment right there. They just don't. Red Scotland, it's just I got honest truth. It's just down to the standard of football. They just don't find the Scottish League appealing. They just don't. Some of them just watch Celtic and Rangers, and that's it. They just don't find it appealing. And it's sad to say, but that's the honest. I was once one of them, and I that's why I'm speaking from my perspective. I was once one of them fans that I wore a Liverpool jersey years ago, and what could I deny it? I don't have any Liverpool jerseys now. They're all thrown in the bin. Be honest. I get them away to charity shops. I threw them all in the bin. I don't want another club's jersey. Maybe a St. Pauli jersey, a Betis jersey, or a Sporting Lisbon top, something with green and white. Fair enough. I know Liverpool have a white and green jersey, but I'm not going to wear it. You know, I'm not going to wear it because I know if I was to wear another top, I wouldn't feel right. I always feel great when I put this on. I feel just it just brightens me up putting this stuff on, you know. And I know we have fans that are saying, "Oh, 70 quid a jersey." It's up to you to buy it. It's not. It's not about you wearing this jersey. It's about how you feel inside. I used to do my paper Monday to Sunday, Saturday morning, blah 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 blah. Scarf. Yeah, scarves have gone up as well. Everything's gone up. Lovely atmosphere on this to chat today. Feel the passion for the Celtic. You know, that's it. That's what always people say to me when they meet me. You may not go to the games, Keith, but my God, you show the passion. I'm like, sure, right, I show the passion. I don't need to sit there with 2 or 3 people and have a website or have a fancy microphone or be a season ticket or to be a Celtic fan. I don't need to have that because I've bought that into my life. I've bought the love of Celtic into my life. And my kids know that, my family know that, my friends know that. Like, I get people give me abuse because I wear Celtic tops every day. I don't care. I don't care if they think that I wear Celtic tops and I live in football. I live because I love this club, like you as well. You know, I have Irish family who despise everything about it. Blah blah blah. That we're not going to go into that kind of side of it because I can't really go into too much into that kind of side of it with YouTube. How many Celtic jerseys have you got? I'll be honest with you, I've about 94 or 5 jerseys of Celtic. Like that's Celtic tops, training tops, you know, about that. My first ever top was the 2002 UEFA Cup run one, NTL. Have a signed by Stillion and signed by Chris Sutton when I interviewed Chris Sutton back 6 weeks ago. I was like to Chris, Chris, you have to sign this. Is my first ever Celtic top. He's like, your first top? I goes, it's a long story. I was one of them Irish fans that are mad into English football and I didn't realise I was on the wrong side of the boat. I was on the wrong deck. And he's like, fair play. You're supporting the right club now. And it feels great. As I said, Lenny said it to me. Chris Sutton said it to me. I met John a few times, you know. So, yeah, it's so good. It's so good. It's good to be different. It's good to be unique. Unique club, but its identity is just remarkable, you know. I'm going to jump off in about 10 minutes. I have to get ready. Big christening today. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed the chat as well. I'm going to try get back on Tuesday night after the game. We'll do a podcast after the game. If you have not subscribed, my God, 2 seconds to press that button below. And if you do subscribe and you think there's a fan out there that might enjoy my podcast, there's a share button below. Just press that and WhatsApp it to someone or send it on Facebook or put it in a group. I don't really care. Once we see another face in here with another comment and it's positive vibes, we're all happy. We're all happy. We're going to get fans that are not happy and still not over Brendan being back. And you know what? Build a bridge and get over it. Seriously. Yes, he may not be your number one pick. Yes, you might be wanting Newton. Maybe you wanted Pep Guardiola. Maybe you wanted Jurgen Klopp. It doesn't work like that, folks. It is what it is. He's here. Back him. Back the team. Yes, the board may not put the backing into the squad you wanted, but it is what it is. You're going to put the green on. You're going to support the team. You're going to sit there. You're going to have your beer hat on with your cans and drink your Amstel or drink your Carlsberg and whatever and watch them on Tuesday night. Or have your cup of tea. Or you may even be there in Rotterdam, you know. Hail, trouble, no Celtic shop. The reason why I've been told by a couple of people close to the club, the reason why they got rid of the Celtic shop in Dublin, and plus I worked in a company that was dealing with the whole Brexit invoices and stuff like that dealt with deliveries for Celtic shop. It was a Brexit issue. It was down to during lockdown, they were making more orders online because the shop was closed and they felt like the volume of orders coming through. And plus with the partnership with JD, that Celtic shop was never going to last. It broke my heart. It broke my heart because I remember the first ever top I bought at that Celtic shop was the Black Magic. Gutting times. The last top I bought out of it was the green one that we wore in the League Cup final against Hibs, the Kyogo top. And then I have the jacket there. You have the jacket there. That jacket. So that was, yeah, I know it's mad to have that emotional attachment just to a shop, because it's a Celtic shop. Because I used to love getting paid when the jerseys come out, go in, and you say to yourself, I'll spend 120 quid, but you go in and break the bank and you spend 200 quid. That's the love, and it is sad. It's quite sad, But Belfast is the only place in Ireland that has a Celtic shop at the moment. But that's JD. JD have the marketing tools. But I'll tell you one thing about JD Sports. Why did he still have a picture of Jota on their website promoting the jersey? That was absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. Shocking marketing. Like, you're quick enough to do the videos and put it out there, but Jota that left the club was still on your website. My God. Talking about partnership, talking about actually buying into the idea and promoting goods. No, I'm not having it. Black Magic top, cracker. Have it a long sleeve. Have it a long sleeve. I actually had the first top was short sleeve I had, and then unfortunately I lost it away in San Ponce that year. I was devastated as a 13-year-old. But the following year, I met a girl at the time, and she said to me, "What do we want for Valentine's Day?" I was only 14, bless me. And I said, "I'll get me the long sleeve black and gold Celtic jersey." So this was the year after Larson left. We had Bellamy in front. Bellamy was wearing the long sleeve with a collar, and this is when we got him in January. And she got me long sleeve in a large. In a large. Now at the time I was only a small. And I was just like, this thing is like a like PJs on me. So eventually, 10 years later, it fits me and it covers the beer go. Oh yeah, good times, good times. So yeah, mine's starting to fall off as well. To be honest with you, can't maintain it. It's a nightmare. I flew home to Dublin there the other day. I was in the chippy, if you're Scottish, or I call it the chipper. I was in the chipper getting a bar sausage and chips after being on the flight. Sounded like I'm about to be on a flight from Bleeding Vegas to Angola on half an hour flight, and this guy walks in his 50s wearing the Black Magic jersey. And my God, the buzz I got when I seen that, I was like, my God, he must be a proper team. Who the hell would wear the Black Magic jersey and feel good like that in like 2023? That feels good. you know? Um, the problem is when you're wearing a Celtic top, you feel good. Also feel like you're watching. Uh, that's it. That's it. 100%, Joey. Can I call you Joey? The lips. Um, So yeah, so that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I'm going to be doing a couple of videos over the next couple of days. Please do tune into the channel. As I said, if you could share this, or if you haven't subscribed, press the red button. No one's putting a gun to your head. If I don't catch you now this time, I'm sure I'll catch you the next time, and you will subscribe. Rome wasn't built in one day. It takes time, and this channel is getting better and better because I have the confidence. I got the passion. I'm not shy. I say how I feel, and yous are there to back me or slate me. And the ones who slate me, I'll take your comment in, I'll take your criticism in. But at the end of the day, if I have my view, I'm not going to change my view on someone else's opinion. Celtic should finish second in the group. No, I don't think so, crazy boy. I think you got to use your head instead of your heart. But now, look, the ball hasn't been kicked. I can understand what you're saying. And this is the prime example of just saying literally 2 minutes ago. We do not have the squad to finish second. If we do, my God, I'll meet up in Glasgow and I'll buy you a drink for your prediction. But I don't think we're going to finish second in the group. I think we're going to scrape to even finish third in the group. To be honest, I'm using me head over my heart in this one. And I think a lot of people will understand. If we lose on Tuesday night, touch wood, we don't. We'll have people who the anti-Brendan jury be boring football, blah 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 blah. I'm like, shut up, will you? Calm yourself down, will you? It's one defeat. Yes, we lost to Command. Don't start think of the positives instead of the negatives. And I'm not trying to be negative saying Celtic won't finish second group. I'm just being honest. I'm being brutally honest. And I'm saying in a positive way that we may get a couple of results. Maybe Feyenoord away and home. But we said that last year in the Champions League. Oh, Shakhtar. Oh, Red Bull. Oh, Real Madrid. like, we all want glamorous toys. We all want the Champions League music, but it's what we can do in the Champions League is the most important thing. And if we could finish second, as Crazy Boy said, happy days. We'll see. But taking every game as it comes. I'm not taking too far into it. Third place I'd be delighted with. Good, good. Daily. Right, I'm going to jump off, folks. So, pleasure speaking to you all. Speak to you all soon. Thanks for 28 to 30 people tuning in this morning. Great to see good, familiar faces here. And as I said, if you want to purchase the membership, like 2 or 3 years have, stickers will be sent out at the end of the year, regardless where you live in the world. If it's you're living in the Caribbean, or you're living in Glasgow, or you're living in Dublin, I will send the stickers because you are backing me to get better and to do my stuff. And even if you don't buy the membership, subscribe to my channel is good. So I'll speak to you all soon, right?